I mean, I think we did in the first half. I feel like we just were giving them too much open lanes. I mean, gave them soft edges. We had three guys on the perimeter. In the second half, we started just playing man coverage, and that's when we started really making them work for it. And they really couldn't do too much once we started trying to play straight man. And I feel like it's just a little too late.
Back right, Eric.
How much pressure does it put on the defense when the offense is not playing very well? It seems like in your losses over the years, the defense has struggled the most when the offense is not performing. Do you guys thrive off the offense? You play better from ahead than you do when it's close?
I think it's just like any other team, but at the same time, I mean, if your offense doesn't have the ball too long, you have to get back on the field over and over and over. I mean, I thought we did a good job at the same time. I mean, you have to be able to pick your offense up. I mean, you might have a bad day, but the offense has a bad day, we have to pick them up. And if we have a bad day, the offense has to, and that's all you can say.
Questions for Ifo here in the middle.
With the college football playoff, does that change the complexion of a single loss, especially early in the season?
I haven't really thought of that too much, but I mean, it's an early loss. I mean, we have a long season and you have a lot of games to play. I mean, we're playing UCLA next week. I mean, play Washington. I mean, it's not going to get any easier. So, I mean, we have to be ready for every game and just take it one game at a time. And when that time comes, when they decide, we'll have to see.
In the back, Tom.
Solomon at quarterback did a pretty good job for a redshirt freshman. How would you assess his game, and what made it so difficult for you guys to sort of get him under wraps?
I think he did a good job. I mean, their coaching staff made it pretty easy on him. They didn't make him make any actual field reads or any reads where he has to look from from one side to the other. He really just had to pick the side, and he was able to throw out curls, and that's pretty much all they do. They run read option. If it's not open, they pull the ball. The quarterback can either run, or he can throw out, or he can throw a curl. Those are just easy passes where he can convert those and get his confidence up. And I mean, they did it the whole game. Once we started going to man coverage, the quarterback started running around.
In front, Matt.
For both you guys, you've got, like you said, Ifo, there's a lot of good teams still left on this schedule. Does that put a high importance for the leaders on this team to kind of keep the team together and say, like, that we can still accomplish our goals and get to where we want to go?
I mean, it's football. You're going to win some and you're going to lose some. But, I mean, you have another game and you have to get to the next game and worry about your next opponent. I mean, we lost this game. You have to move on. It happens. And now, I mean, I feel like we'll be more than ready for UCLA next week.
Derrick, you want to address that question?
Yeah, just like Ifo said, that game is past us now, and we got to focus on every game. We're not really worrying about playoffs or anything like that. We're worrying about winning each and every game that we play. So that's our main focus. We got to route each other up. Leaders got to lead, got to step up. Pick up those young guys. Tell everyone to pick their heads up, and we got work to do coming up Monday.
Let's do two more for Ifo, and then we'll switch over to Derrick.
The coaches mentioned the resiliency. This is really going to be a test of your guys' character after this loss. Are you guys viewing it that way, and how do you think you guys are going to respond?
I mean, it's football. I mean, every loss to test your character to see how you respond the next week. I mean, I'm sure not every team in college football is going to go undefeated. So, I mean, everyone has to learn from their losses, and you have to just get better. I mean, that's the whole point. You don't want to have a loss and you don't learn anything from it, and you're the same team next week. You have to learn from it.
In the back, Tom.
Ifo, back here to that point, you remember when you guys 2 years ago on this field beat that team 49-0. I know personnel is different and everything, but what do you think it says about the Pac-12 and how tough every game is each week? I mean, it's any given Saturday right now, it seems.
I mean, like I said before, I mean, it's not going to get any easier. You have to take it game by game, and you can't worry about who you have ahead in the schedule, or else somebody's going to come and beat you. I mean, you saw the Pac-12 games last week, how close they were, and I mean, that's how all the games are going to be this year.
Thanks, Ifo. Questions for Derrick? Right back here in the middle.
Derrick, over the past several years, losing has sort of been the rarity and the odd occurrence for this team. How do you keep it like that rather than making it something that's acceptable and that can happen often?
Well, basically, we reflect on what we did wrong and everything like that, and we don't accept losses lightly. We round each other, and we're brothers out here, and we play for each other. So we're gonna hit that film room hard. We're gonna realize what we did wrong, and it's the culture around here. We're always trying to get better. We're not gonna let any loss define who we are, as a team, and we're gonna keep progressing each and every day.
In the middle, Tyson.
Hey, Derrick. I know you guys say, you know, it's going to be the same approach every week, next game. But what's tonight going to be like when you go home after this? Like just digesting this game, and do you think tomorrow is going to feel any different than it would maybe on a traditional Sunday after, you know, you guys win?
No, not necessarily. It's going to hurt. I know how much effort we put into this week and everything like that. And, you know, we had a really good Arizona team come here and they beat us. And so it's going to hurt. We're going to digest, you know, tomorrow is going to hurt just as well when we go over the film with the coaches and everything like that. But when we start looking at UCLA, we got to disregard that. It's in the past. We can't let one loss beat us twice.
How is this loss different emotionally than the two that you guys had against Stanford and Arizona?
From last year?
Yeah.
It's a lot similar to the Stanford loss, I would say, in my opinion, because, you know, we put so much into it during the week in preparation, everything like that, and we were really prepared to take on this team. And, you know, we played one of our best games, and the effort was there. But, you know, we had to be more disciplined and, you know, more focused on the little details of what we need to accomplish. So I'll say that, you know, we didn't really beat ourselves. They kind of beat us, but we beat ourselves to a degree as well, you know. So that's my main focus. It hurts. So every loss that I've experienced here, you know, it feels the same. So, you know, a loss is a loss, but we got to learn from it.
Yeah, Andrew?
This team had made a living off making second half adjustments the first month of the year. You guys always seem to come back in the second half better. What changed at halftime that didn't necessarily work, though, in this game? Did you guys try to switch up anything that ultimately they found a way to beat?
Not necessarily. We pretty much stayed true to our game plan for the most part. You know, we had a game plan and it worked pretty well. But I think more than anything, we kind of beat ourselves in some ways with the penalties. That's what happened. You know, the scheme was great. You know, the coaching was great. But I think that we beat ourselves with little penalties and little stuff that we really could have, you know, picked it up. But I give all credit to Arizona. You know, the quarterback got hot when he needed to, and he really stepped up.
In the middle?
How is this team better equipped to come back from a loss than it was maybe last year when you had a loss and then had a second loss? How is this team better equipped to handle that?
We have a lot of people who really care about each other, and we have really good people who are all bought into the culture here. We're really focused on the little details and, you know, picking each other up, and, you know, we got to come back and fight, not, you know, anyone putting their heads down or pushing the blame on anyone else. We all care. And if you care, there's no other way but to get better. So I think that we have a great group of core of guys here and great leaders who are going to pick everyone up, and we're going to work even harder. Even though we work really hard this Monday, we're going to work even harder for this upcoming UCLA team.
Front middle, Tyson?
Just following up on that feeling of hurt you guys said you have, you know, that's something that you guys have experienced a fraction of the time that you guys have been here over the last 4 years. How does that kind of fuel what you guys do in this upcoming game week? Like, it's not something that you guys are used to channeling that hurt, that pain from this game, but is it something that you guys can work with?
Oh, I think so, because you never want to feel it again. You know, all pain is temporary. We want to feel this pain for, you know, a moment in time. But what we're really going to do is we're going to step up. We're going to digest what we did wrong, and then we're going to move forward because we don't want to feel this feeling again. So I think we have a really great guys here. You know, we have a great culture here, and we're going to band up together as brothers, and we're going to work, and we're going to get better.
Couple more. Will?
Derrick, with UCLA coming up next week, as opposed to the last couple of years when maybe you lost a game to a tough team, to a team that was maybe people thought was in a better position to beat you, with UCLA coming up top 10 team, does that change the mentality this week, coming off a loss at home, going on the road to play a top 10 team, big atmosphere, big game? Does that maybe help at all turning the page because you feel like you know you have to turn the page?
Not necessarily. No matter who we're playing, we're going to turn the page. We're going to turn the page, and we're going to get better, and we're going to improve. I don't care who we're playing. I don't care what the rankings are. I don't care where we're at. We're going to turn the page, and I have total faith in everyone that we're going to band together.
Last question right here, Bill.
Derrick, when going over the film from Arizona last year, what was the main thing that you guys defensively pinpointed that you wanted to stop or do differently this year, and how did that execute in tonight's game?
I think we did a great job. You know, the scheme-wise and everything like that of what they did. They kind of did the same exact thing that they did last year to us, but our effort was way better this year. You know, our attention to detail, we kind of were sleepwalking a little bit last year. They beat us with effort and scheme and everything last year, but this year we played with a lot of emotion and everything like that. But you know, they came and they still beat us.